Some acts are so disturbing, so hard to understand that even the courtroom falls silent. In this video, you won't just hear about shocking crimes. You'll witness the mindset of people who smiled, showed no remorse, and justified what most of us couldn't even imagine. From a teenager who targeted random strangers to a couple who claimed they were following a divine mission. These aren't just outrageous headlines. These are real cases that stunned judges, silenced juries, and devastated families. And the people responsible, they didn't run, they didn't hide. Some even believed they were completely right. You're about to go inside 5 of the most chilling real-life courtroom moments ever captured on camera. The stories are real, the footage is real, and what happened will stay with you long after the screen fades to black. Viewer discretion is advised. Our first case takes us into the minds of a husband and wife who believed they were on a mission, not from the law, but from a higher power. Christine and Jeremy Moody didn't try to cover their tracks. In fact, they seemed proud of what they did, and they made sure to let the world know why they did it. When investigators uncovered the full story, even seasoned courtroom officials were stunned by what they heard and saw. What drove this couple to commit one of the most unsettling acts in their town's history? And why did they seem to feel no regret? This is the disturbing case of Christine and Jeremy Moody. Union County, South Carolina, a small, unassuming place where neighbors usually keep to themselves and life moves at a slower pace. But in July 2013, headlines coming out of this quiet town gripped the entire country. Jeremy Moody, 30, and his wife Christine Moody, 36, weren't your typical suburban couple. Heavily tattooed, outspoken, and living on the fringes of society, Jeremy had a particular disdain for individuals with certain criminal backgrounds, especially those listed on the registry. The couple were affiliated with a fringe white supremacist group, and their beliefs were extreme. But until that summer, their actions hadn't turned deadly. That changed when Jeremy was scrolling through the public offender registry and spotted a name, Charles Parker, a 59-year-old man with a prior conviction related to minors. Jeremy claimed in his own words that he felt called to do something, not by law, not by the courts, but by what he saw as a higher moral authority. But Jeremy wasn't acting alone. His wife Christine shared his mindset and supported the plan. According to court documents and their own testimony, the Moodys devised a simple but sinister scheme. They would pose as good Samaritans offering mechanical help, just a friendly, neighborly visit to fix a car. On July 21, 2013, they pulled up to the Parkers' home under that pretense. Charles Parker was home, and so was his wife, Gretchen Parker, 51 years old. She had no criminal record, no involvement in her husband's past, and by all accounts, lived a quiet life. But once the couple was inside, everything changed. The Moodys ambushed Charles first. The attack was swift and violent. But then, in a deeply tragic twist, they turned on Gretchen as well. She wasn't part of their so-called mission, but she was there. And to Jeremy and Christine, that made her collateral. After the incident, the couple left the scene calmly and went back to their lives, believing they had done something good, that they were soldiers of morality. They even attended church the same evening, but their trail didn't stay cold for long. Authorities quickly uncovered surveillance footage showing the Moody's car at the scene. Tips poured in. When law enforcement confronted the couple, they didn't resist. In fact, they openly confessed. Jeremy admitted to the entire plan and stood by it. "I have no regrets," he told investigators, stating that what he had done to monsters like Charles Parker is not a sin, and that they deserve what they get.
Child molesters do not deserve to live. They got exactly what they deserve. Had to do it over again. I more.
Christine echoed the sentiment, telling the court she would do it again if given the chance.
I think Jeremy and I would have done it again if given the opportunity.
Do you have any regrets?
I have no regrets. Killing that pedophile was the best day of my life.
Their trial was swift. The evidence was overwhelming. Surveillance, confessions, physical evidence. But what disturbed the courtroom even more than the crime itself was the complete lack of remorse. Jeremy wore his belief system on his skin quite literally. "God forgives, I don't," inked across his throat. It wasn't just a design. It was a mission statement, a warning.
Not a day goes by that I don't regret things that happened. And I know that what I've done is a sin, and I believe that God has forgiven me of it. I want the court to know that I've lost everything that matters to me, my children, my wife, and my family. On the right medication, this would have never happened. Please have mercy on Christine and I so we can still have a chance to grow old together as husband and wife. Okay?
I just took a moment to read Psalm 69, 1 through 20. Save me, O God, for the waters are come into my soul. I sink in deep mire where there is no standing. I come into deep waters where the floods are flowing. I am weary of my crying, my throat is dry. The Bible clearly states thou shalt not kill. I am sorry I broke that commandment, but I truly believe God has forgiven Jeremy and I. I hope you will too. Our preacher has taught me a lot, one of those things being that mercy will show up. I am here today to beg for mercy for my loving husband and myself, so Jeremy and I will have an opportunity to grow old together and spend time with our children, and God willing, our grandchildren. I think Jeremy and I would have done it again if given the opportunity.
Do you have any regrets?
I have no regrets. Killing that pedophile was the best day of my life.
What about not being able to see Jeremy?
Jeremy and I have a love that will withstand this.
What about what you said in court about repenting? Is that not true then?
No, it's not true. My lawyer made me say it. My lawyer made me say it. My lawyer made me say it.
Do you have anything to say to the victim's family?
May they die also.
The court, however, had its own message. Both Jeremy and Christine Moody were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of release. The judge, in handing down the sentence, made it clear, no matter how deep your personal beliefs run, no one has the right to decide who lives or who doesn't, especially when an innocent life, like Gretchen Parker's, is caught in the crossfire.
I believe that if these two were to get out of jail, I would be concerned that they would do exactly the same thing. I think it is a case that justice demands a life sentence. I would ask that the victim and be allowed to leave. Thank you, John.
Hurts later. That's what child molesters get.
The Jeremy and Christine Moody case is a reminder of what happens when ideology replaces law and when personal conviction becomes more important than due process. Some call them vigilantes, others call them something else. But no matter the label, one fact remains. When people decide to become executioners based on what they believe is right, justice turns into chaos, and innocent people pay the price.
It made me mad. They were laughing about what they did. Took someone's life the way they did it. Nobody should die like that. Nobody.
Do you think personal beliefs should ever justify taking matters into your own hands? Let me know in the comments below. Next is a case that left both investigators and the public shaken, not just because of what happened, but because of who was behind it. Michael Swanson was just 17 years old when he carried out a plan that was both senseless and calculated. He didn't try to hide. He didn't try to explain. In fact, when asked why, his answer revealed something far more disturbing than anyone expected. A young man with no criminal history, no clear motive, and no remorse. This is the case of Michael Swanson. Michael Swanson was just 17 years old when he decided he wanted to play the role of a tough guy. Inspired by movies, music, and a fascination with outlaws, he made a chilling decision. He would take a car, a gun, and travel across state lines to commit crimes. Not for money, not for survival, but for attention, thrill, and control. In November 2010, Swanson left his home in Minnesota, stole his mother's car, and took a gun with him. He crossed into Iowa, not just to escape, but to make a name for himself. His plan wasn't about stealing money. It was about creating fear and chaos, no matter the cost. His first stop was a gas station in Algona, Iowa. The clerk on duty was 47-year-old Vicki Bowman Hall, a well-known, well-loved mother, wife, and friend. Witnesses described Swanson walking into the store with his hood up and a chilling, emotionless look in his eyes, like someone on a mission. He demanded money. But before Vicky could even react, he turned violent. Her life was tragically cut short in an instant. Just hours later, in Humboldt, Iowa, Swanson repeated the exact same crime. This time, the victim was 61-year-old Sheila Myers. She was also working the night shift at a small convenience store. And just like before, he demanded cash, then turned aggressive, leaving Sheila tragically unresponsive moments later. What made the case even more disturbing was Swanson's later admission. He had no reason to harm either woman. He said they were cooperating, but he went through with it anyway, simply because he wanted to. Michael Swanson's crime spree didn't last long. After stopping to eat at a McDonald's in southern Minnesota, he was arrested. He didn't run. He didn't resist. In fact, he told officers exactly what he had done, like a kid recounting his day at school. He casually listed the events. No fear, no remorse. What stunned authorities most wasn't just the crime, it was how he acted afterward. During interviews, Swanson laughed. He smiled while recounting what he had done. But when asked why he did it, his answer was what made the agent pause. He didn't claim revenge, desperation, or even confusion. He said he did it because he wanted to know what it felt like.
If they didn't ask you if you wanted a cigarette or anything like that,
if I can, yeah.
I don't smoke, but if one of these officers has a cigarette, we might...
There's a whole carton in the car.
Pardon?
There's a whole carton in the car.
I'm assuming this is probably no smoking building, but sometimes people probably break the smoking law without it. I was just going to have you grab a quick pack of cigarettes and a book of matches. Any kind of cigarettes, probably. I don't know. You have a preference? Any kind.
Newport.
Pardon?
Newport.
Pardon, Newport, he says. That's what he said. You got a book of matches, too.
I robbed some stuff.
What kind of gun did you have?
A Beretta, something.
Okay. Where'd you get that gun?
My cabin.
Your cabin up in northern Minnesota?
Yeah.
Okay. You're just going to keep heading south?
Yeah. So, I ended up in some other town. I don't know what town it was. I think this one was the Come and Go.
Come and Go? Okay. Now, tell me about that.
The clerk was the only person there. So with the mask on, the coat on, I went in there.
Okay.
And I walked in with the gun in the bag, and I took it out, and I pointed at her. I put the bag on the table. That's what I did. I don't remember what I said, but she put the money in the bag. And she said, I don't remember. And then I shot her, and I left. Just walked out.
Just walked out? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You knew you were going to shoot her?
Yeah.
Okay. At what point did you make up your mind that you were going to shoot her?
Just thinking, I don't know. It's like tying up loose ends. I don't know.
Tying up loose ends?
It's like, so then she can call the police. She can, like, point me out.
Okay. She won't be able to identify you, would she, if you shot her? Okay. So when you were still sitting in the car, did you know that you were going to shoot?
Yeah.
When you left the car, you knew you were going to shoot her? I'm always curious, how did it feel when you pulled the trigger? I mean, some people say that, it feels powerful or that it's kind of a rush, or what did you feel when you pulled the trigger?
I felt powerful, but, like, I don't know, I just didn't really care.
Didn't care? Okay. How else did you feel?
It had no effect on me. I just didn't even care. I don't know, I just felt like my adrenaline was pumping. I felt good.
Okay. How do you feel now? Do you feel the same, or has it changed a little bit?
Not really.
Not really?
I don't know. I just feel like, sometimes people get shot.
And where did you shoot?
Around the body?
Yeah.
In the face.
In the face? Okay. Why the face? Did you do that on purpose?
Well, I don't know. It just seems like it's final.
It was final? Okay. You knew for a fact that she'd be dead if you shot her in the face?
More than likely.
Okay. Okay. And why did you want her to be dead as opposed to just be injured?
If I was just going to shoot to injure her, why would I shoot her at all? I don't know.
How do you feel right now?
About what? Like...
Do you feel manic right now, or do you feel pretty normal?
I feel normal. I just feel like I need to get some sleep.
Okay.
Throughout the interrogation, he smiled, occasionally laughed, as if the entire thing was just a casual conversation about something far less serious. At times, he seemed proud, like a kid who had just pulled off a prank. The confession was so immediate and so detailed that the agents barely had to push. No lies, no hesitation, just a straight path from question to answer, a path paved with coldness and a shocking absence of empathy. The agents didn't just record his words, they recorded his demeanor. And when that footage was later presented in court, it wasn't just the families who were shaken. Even the judge appeared visibly disturbed by the teen's casual attitude toward what had happened.
I'll tell you what I think. It's cold-blooded murder. Cold-blooded murder, young man.
Sheila Meyer's daughter tearfully testified, calling her mother her best friend. She said seeing Swanson smile as her family suffered felt like being attacked all over again. And still, through it all, Swanson never once said sorry.
How could you do what you did to my mom and my family? I want to know if you're even sorry. Are you sorry for what you did? My mom was not only completely 100% innocent, but she was also a defenseless woman when you came in with that gun. You said you did it for cigarettes and money and so no one could identify you, but I think that's a lie. You did it, as you later said on, that it was so you could feel powerful. How could killing a defenseless woman and an outright execution be powerful or fair? My mom did nothing to you.
There was no mystery in this case. Swanson had confessed. The security footage and witness testimony was clear. The weapon was found. The only question was, would he be sentenced as a juvenile or as an adult? The court made it clear. Michael Swanson would be tried and sentenced as an adult for both acts.
As Michael Swanson was sentenced, he grinned, smiled, and laughed, but when he came into the courtroom, he appeared emotionless as he walked past Sheila Meyer's family, the woman he murdered. Meyer's husband of 37 years broke down in tears as the prosecutor read his statement.
When I watch TV at night, it's extremely lonely because there's no one to talk to, no one to go to bed with, and no one to wake up with in the morning. And we can't forget that this is about Sheila Myers, not about the system failing Michael Swanson, and not about how something must be wrong with Michael Swanson.
The state asked that Swanson's robbery count run consecutive to his life sentence for first-degree murder. 18-year-old Swanson chose not to speak, but his attorney said the murder was avoidable.
You've got a doctor who puts in his report that without antipsychotic medication, he's going to rob people, he's going to use weapons and commit violent acts, yet they let him out without any kind of medication. I mean, that to me is the failure of the system in this case.
The judge called the case sad and senseless.
And your counsel wants us to believe that you lack the capacity, that you were insane. And I don't buy into that. You are dangerous, you are unpredictable, and there is no place for you in an open, law-abiding society. Prison for the rest of your life is the only alternative, and the court intends to follow through.
As he left the courtroom, Swanson smiled once again. Meyer's daughter said it was still hard to see.
I think he just have a heart and soul, actually. There's nothing there. There was just emptiness, really.
Yeah. Robin at one point made a comment that he was a shell of a boy. Just a shell. There's nothing inside.
He said, I have always been fascinated by death and violence. And it was something that I wanted to do. From what Mr. Swanson told me his perspective was, people are going to die. What difference does it make whether they die when they're 77 or whether he shoots them? It's just not a big deal. He could not understand why everybody was getting so upset about this whole situation. He's happy as a clam. He's killed somebody. He's getting all this attention. We're all here. It's a dream come true.
He received 2 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. That means 2 full life terms, back to back. No chance of getting out, ever. Even as the verdict was read, Swanson did something no one expected. He laughed, again, as if none of it mattered, as if the lives he stole were part of a game.
Verdict number 1, we find the defendant guilty in the first degree, signed foreperson. In the District Court for Humboldt County, State of Iowa, plaintiff versus Michael Richard Swanson, defendant, number FECR 008863, verdict form, count 2. The jury has returned the following verdict. Verdict form number 1, we find the defendant guilty, signed foreperson. Have I accurately portrayed your verdict, sir? Yes. And do the rest of you agree with that representation? Yes. Very well.
Years later, the pain still echoes. Both towns, Algona and Humboldt, remember that November night. They remember the fear. They remember the funerals. They remember the smiles of the women who once served coffee, rang up groceries, and greeted everyone with kindness. Michael Swanson's name is remembered too, but not for the reasons he wanted. He is not feared. He is not respected. He is a reminder of how dangerous it can be when someone chooses violence just to feel important. One prosecutor said it best. He wanted to be a gangster. He wanted to be tough. But in the end, all he left behind was pain and a legacy of cruelty. Michael Swanson's story isn't just about crime. It's about how someone so young can go so dark, so fast, and how the justice system had to step in with full force. Bryce Rhodes sat in the courtroom, not with shame, but with a smirk. Acting tough and blowing kisses toward the victims' families, he seemed more amused than remorseful. He talked back at the judge.
I'm definitely gonna speak my mind. I don't know if y'all got some type of sexual relationship going on or what y'all got going on. Ain't gonna find out though. You're gonna find out real quick. Your job is to do your job, not to worry about me. That's what I'm saying. Well, I worry about me. You worry about your. Okay. That's what I want to do. Well, let's get that understood. That's fine. Let's get that understood.
Laughed during proceedings and carried himself like none of it mattered. To everyone watching, it felt like a performance, cold, heartless, and deeply disturbing. But the show didn't last long. Everything changed when his co-defendant, a young man once considered his friend, entered the courtroom and took the stand. What followed was a detailed testimony that exposed everything: the planning, the actions, and the aftermath. It shattered the illusion Bryce had been clinging to and turned the courtroom atmosphere from surreal to deadly serious. The truth was out, and he wasn't laughing anymore. This is the case of Bryce Rhodes, a chilling example of arrogance, betrayal, and how justice sometimes comes from the most unexpected place. Bryce Rhodes, a former local rapper from Louisville, Kentucky, was involved in a highly publicized legal case that attracted national attention. The case centered around a tragic incident in May 2016, involving the loss of 2 teenage boys and a young man, all of whom were found deceased under suspicious circumstances. Bryce Rhodes faced serious charges related to the disappearance and later discovery of the victims, who were known to be connected to him through mutual acquaintances and alleged activities. The case remained in limbo for several years due to legal delays, multiple attorneys withdrawing, and complications with court proceedings. However, one significant shift in the trajectory of the case came from a key testimony delivered by a young man named Anjuan Carter. Anjuan Carter was a teenager at the time of the 2016 incident. He was reportedly present during the crucial moments leading up to the disappearance of the victims.
Bryce Rhodes denied any knowledge of what happened to 14-year-old Larry Ordway and 16-year-old Maurice Gordon when police interviewed him on May 24th.
Where they run away to? Like,
well, if we knew that, man, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I wish I could help, knew where they was, I don't,
Not long after, Rhodes stopped answering questions and asked for a lawyer. But 15-year-old Anjuan Carter didn't stop talking. He said he and 18-year-old Ja'Cory Taylor were in Bryce's apartment when the murders took place.
He made Maurice get on his knees and beg for forgiveness. And he put a toboggan over his head and he put a rag in his mouth. And then he stabbed him.
Carter describes a similar scene for Maurice's brother.
We moved Maurice to the side and we brought his brother and we put the toboggan over his head. He put the toboggan over his head and put the sock in his mouth. And started stabbing him too.
Carter says he and Taylor were forced to be involved in the
He made her stab him.
He made y'all stab him? So you and Corey stabbed him too? Alright, how many times do you think you stabbed him?
I stabbed him one time.
Carter says the brothers had witnessed Rhodes kill a man earlier that month, a possible reason into why they were killed.
They seen somebody just walking in the street. They said Rambo's like at the street and shot him. And she was a getaway driver, so he was driving.
As the case continued over the years, Carter remained largely silent, facing legal trouble of his own. However, during the trial of Bryce Rhodes, Carter was brought in as a witness and ultimately made the decision to testify against Rhodes.
There was a phone call that you overheard between the boy's mom and the defendant, right? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Who was talking on the phone?
It was Larry and Maurice's mom and Bryce.
It was who and Bryce?
Larry and Maurice's mom.
Larry and Maurice's mother? Okay, thank you.
And what was the tone of the conversation?
It was about the shooting.
And when did this conversation happen?
Whenever Maurice had told her about it.
Had you been to his house before?
Yeah.
Who else? What time of day or night is it?
It's nighttime.
Nighttime. Who's at the house?
Larry, Maurice, me, Corey, him, and like 3 other people.
What was going on that night?
We was all smoking, drinking. And then you feel me? Larry and Maurice got into an argument. Not Larry and Maurice, but Larry and Corey got into an argument.
Was it common for people to get into arguments when you all were hanging out?
Yeah.
And what happened with this argument?
Maurice grabbed a knife.
Okay. So Maurice picked up a knife. Did he wave it at Corey?
Yeah, I ain't gonna say he waved at him. He picked it up in an aggressive manner.
And what happened next?
We take it from him and he smacked him.
You say he, do you mean Bryce Rhodes?
Bryce took it from him, he smacked him.
How did he take a knife from him?
He went to do that with the knife anyways.
What did Bryce do after he took the knife?
He's like he gonna violate him.
Did that alarm Maurice? How did Maurice respond?
He was gonna go with it. He thought it was just gonna be a punch in the chest.
And why would he go along with it?
That's big homie.
In a packed courtroom, Anjuan Carter recounted the sequence of events leading up to the incident. According to his statement, Carter was present when Bryce Rhodes allegedly brought the victims to a house. He detailed how the situation escalated quickly and said he witnessed actions that left him deeply traumatized. Carter shared that one of the teenage boys pleaded to be let go, referring to him as a little brother and asking not to be harmed. He recalled how Rhodes allegedly tried to intimidate him afterward to ensure he would not speak to the authorities. Carter stated that Rhodes looked him in the eyes and said if he ever said a word, he wouldn't make it.
Is there a time where people in the house separate from Maurice?
Yeah. We put both of them in the bathroom and we took a vote.
Both who?
Larry and Maurice.
They're in the bathroom. And where are you guys?
Living room.
And what happens in the living room?
We took a vote.
What's this vote on?
If they should die or not.
If they should die or not? Who's calling the vote?
Bryce.
What was your vote?
I'm the one that said no. I just said yeah.
What would have happened to you if you tried to leave at that point in time?
I had nowhere to go. He lived too far out.
So, what happens after the vote's taken? What happens to Maurice?
He put a sock in his mouth, tied his hands behind his back, and put a hat over his head.
And where did he do this?
In the living room.
And what happened after that?
He started hitting him in the chest at first.
With an item, with his fist? How was he hitting him?
We hit him in the chest with a fist first, hit him like 3-4 times. And then Tyron passed him the knife. He started stabbing him.
So Tyrion handed him the knife.
Yeah.
Was he making a noise?
He couldn't. He had the sock in his mouth.
Was he trying to make noise?
Yeah.
How many times did Bryce Rhodes stab him?
I don't know.
Where did he stab him?
The torso, out up here.
Was he standing up or was he on his knees?
He was on his knees.
And he stabbed him in the chest?
Chest, stomach, around there in the general area.
In the what area?
In his chest, in his stomach, on his torso.
Did he stab him other places?
I don't know.
How long did this go on for?
Until he stopped breathing.
Do you have any idea the time?
I don't know.
Was there a lot of blood?
Yeah.
Where was the blood going?
In the carpet and sheets.
Were the sheets set out to catch the blood?
Yeah, sheets was really there to move him.
Who got the sheets?
Bryce.
And where did he put them?
Like we had dragged Maurice by the door, and then bring Larry out.
Now these guys are your best friends, right?
Yeah.
What's running through your mind?
Make sure I get out.
What's that?
I gotta make sure I get out. Try to save somebody else. Make sure I'm safe.
And what would have stopped you from getting out?
Probably if I ain't go along with it.
What would have happened?
Probably been with him. Probably same situation, same fate.
All right. So they bring Larry out of the bathroom. Does he have? When does he get the sock?
He already been like he had the belt, he had a hat, he got the sock. He had the sock when it was his turn.
Okay, when you say he had the belt, what do you mean?
His hands was already tied behind his back. He had a hat over his eyes, so he couldn't see.
And he had a sock in his mouth?
He got the sock when it was his turn.
Was he making noises?
Not yet. He started making noises when he started getting stabbed.
Was he on his knees?
Yeah.
Did he know what had happened to his brother?
No.
Was there blood in the spot that he was at?
Yeah.
Did he respond to that?
Yeah, he started like trying to kick everything off, get his hands untied, get his hands free and stuff.
Was his brother making any noise at that point?
My brother already did.
So how many times did he get stabbed?
I don't know. A lot.
Who was stabbing him?
He stabbed him until he was dead.
Bryce did?
Yeah. He passed the knife around.
Who did he pass the knife to?
He passed it to me.
Why'd he pass you the knife? They're both dead, right?
Yeah, both dead, but he said, so we all gonna be in it. It's on all of us now.
So you would participate?
Yeah.
So what did you have to do with the knife?
I stabbed him.
Who'd you stab?
Larry.
How many times did you stab Larry?
Like 3.
What'd you do with the knife?
She passed it back to him.
What'd he do with the knife?
She passed it to somebody else.
Who was the next person up?
I don't remember.
Where was Jacory?
Corey's right there with him. Corey's in there.
Was Jacory handed the knife?
Yeah.
Before or after they were both dead?
After.
Do you know what he did with the knife?
He stabbed him a few times.
Who did he stab?
Larry.
All right. What's the next thing that happens?
We put him in totes. You feel me? Took him like with him, Bryce, Tyron, and somebody else. They were supposed to take him to like a abandoned house and burn the bando.
The three older guys were?
Yeah. They're supposed to take it to a abandoned house and burn it.
Carter revealed that he chose to testify because he no longer wanted to carry the emotional burden of staying silent. He explained that although he initially feared speaking up, especially knowing the weight of his testimony, he reached a point where his conscience wouldn't allow him to remain quiet any longer. In his words, he said, "I've carried this for too long. I could have walked away. I could have been free. But I didn't say anything because I didn't want to get caught up. I feel guilty that I didn't speak up earlier. I know I could have done something."
I wish the outcome was different. If I knew this wouldn't happen, I wouldn't have hung out with Morris and Larry.
Carter added that the judge had offered him a chance at freedom had he cooperated earlier, but at the time, he declined due to fear and confusion. His decision to testify now, he said, was not for a deal or leniency, but to do the right thing for the families affected. His testimony painted a chilling picture of fear, silence, and regret. It immediately became the turning point in the trial. Up until Carter's testimony, the prosecution lacked a direct eyewitness account. Carter's statement placed Rhodes at the center of the events and provided a timeline that aligned with other pieces of evidence, such as surveillance footage and phone records. Carter's cooperation gave the jury clarity, and within days, momentum in the courtroom shifted. His first-hand recollection dismantled parts of the defense's argument and tied together fragmented pieces of the investigation. Court observers, legal analysts, and even Rhodes' own attorneys acknowledged that Carter's testimony was the nail in the coffin for the case. Family members of the young boys who had mixed but emotional reactions to Carter's testimony. Many were tearful during his statements, and some nodded in silent agreement as he spoke.
I can't even begin to tell you how this has been. Nothing is the same. Nothing.
One mother, who asked not to be named, said she don't hate Carter. She stated that she's just hurt it took this long, but she believed he told the truth and that she's thankful he finally did. Another family member, speaking outside the courthouse, said they waited years for this day. She stated that Bryce took away their children's future and that no sentence can bring them back, but today she feel like justice is finally beginning. While the families acknowledged the pain caused by Carter's initial decisions to not to testify, many expressed gratitude for his eventual courage to speak up. Following Carter's testimony and other supporting evidence, the jury found Bryce Rhodes guilty on multiple counts related to the incident. The judge, noting the deliberate planning and disregard for human life, sentenced Rhodes to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The courtroom was filled with audible sighs and tears from the victim families as the sentence was read aloud.
Thank you. Has the jury been able to reach a verdict in this case? All right, if you could please hand the form to Deputy Mills. Thank you. Verdict Form 2A, we, the jury, found the defendant guilty of murder. I'm now going to ask each of you by just kind of pointing, beginning with the back row and going down and then the front row. Is this your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your verdict?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Counsel, can you all approach?
Due to his cooperation and willingness to testify, Carter received a significantly reduced sentence. The judge acknowledged his role in the initial cover-up but emphasized the value of his truth-telling. Carter was sentenced to 10 years in prison, with the possibility of early release based on behavior and rehabilitation efforts. The judge noted that Carter had a chance to walk free earlier, but chose not to. While delayed, the judge acknowledged that his truth helped the court deliver justice. He made it clear that his decision to testify matters. The Bryce Rhodes case was one of the most distressing legal sagas in Louisville in recent memory. It highlighted the dangers of misguided loyalty, the cost of staying silent, and the power of conscience. Anjuan Carter's testimony broke a long-standing wall of silence and gave a grieving community a chance to heal. While justice does not undo the past, it provided closure and reminded everyone of the importance of speaking the truth, no matter how late. For many, Carter's words were painful but necessary. His testimony was not only a statement against wrongdoing, it was a statement for accountability, growth, and redemption. Bryce Rhodes sat in that courtroom thinking his secret was safe until the truth came from the last person he expected. Anjuan Carter's testimony didn't just shift the case, it shattered everything. What do you think? Did Anjuan do the right thing by speaking up late, or was it too little too late? Drop your thoughts in the comments. On the surface, Diana Lovejoy had the look of a suburban success story. Fitness coach, mother, and well-spoken woman with a clean reputation. But beneath the surface was a bitter custody battle, a crumbling life, and a plan that shocked even those closest to her. What happened next became the center of a high-profile courtroom case, with moments so unbelievable they had to be seen to be believed. This is the case of Diana Lovejoy, a story of dissection, desperation, and a plan gone horribly wrong. Diana Lovejoy and her former husband, Greg Mulvihill, had been involved in a long and emotionally charged separation process. Disagreements over parenting responsibilities and household matters created deep divisions. Legal proceedings stretched on, and both parties made serious claims against one another in family court. During this period, Lovejoy became connected with a man named Weldon McDavid Jr., a former military member and fitness trainer. Their connection would soon play a pivotal role in a decision that changed several lives forever. According to court records, in 2016, Mulvihill received an unusual phone call. Someone claimed to have important information related to the legal process he was involved in. Trusting the tip, he agreed to meet the caller in a remote location one evening. That meeting would lead to a situation that resulted in significant injuries. Fortunately, Mulvihill was able to seek immediate assistance and ultimately recovered. Law enforcement launched a full investigation. Using digital records, phone data, and text exchanges, authorities linked the incident to McDavid and then to Diana Lovejoy. Prosecutors said the two had worked together and that the incident was premeditated.
It was an ambush in a rural part of Carlsbad, a sniper on the ground with a silencer waiting. The defense said McDavid just wanted to scare Mulvihill, that he wanted to shoot out the flashlight he was carrying, and that if he wanted to kill, he would have.
My thought from day one was, if he was such a good shot, why did he miss the light? Like they kept saying, you know, here's the light, here's the light. If he was such a good shot, why didn't he hit the light?
Greg Mulvihill said he didn't realize he had been shot at first, and initially he thought he felt something in his back, even though he could see the sniper directly in front of him.
After the second time of shining the light on it and staring at it for a second, I realized I was looking at a barrel and a scope of a gun.
The trial lasted nearly 2 weeks and drew major public interest. Prosecutors alleged that Lovejoy, motivated by fear of losing parental rights and legal standing, had asked McDavid to help her resolve things permanently. The defense claimed that there had been a misunderstanding and miscommunication between the two. Both individuals were ultimately found responsible for the planning and execution of the event. When the verdict was announced in court, Lovejoy fainted. Medical personnel entered the courtroom, and she was briefly hospitalized for observation.
Verdict. We, the jury, in the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Diana Jean Lovejoy, guilty of the crime of attempted murder of Greg Mulvihill in violation of Penal Code Section 664/187, paren A, paren 1, as charged on count 2. We further find true the allegation that Diana Jean Lovejoy acted willfully, deliberately, and with premeditation within the meaning of Penal Code Section 189. We further find true the allegation that Diana Jean Lovejoy was vicariously armed with a firearm within the meaning of Penal Code Section 12022, A, 1, dated 11/13/17, signed 4 persons. In the Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of San Diego, the people of the State of California, Plaintiff versus Weldon K. McDavid, defendant. Case number SCN 363925, DA number OCD 980. Verdict. We, the jury, in the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Weldon K. McDavid, guilty of the crime of conspiracy to commit murder.
We're going to need to take a break. You're down. And if we could have, the jury go back and Okay, folks. Okay, at this point, we need to clear out the courtroom. Let's go.
The moment went viral, with many seeing it as a sign of the intense stress and pressure defendants face when they hear that their lives will change from that point forward. Following the trial, Diana Lovejoy was given a multi-decade sentence. Weldon McDavid received a similar outcome. Greg Mulvihill, the individual impacted by the incident, was able to move forward and take full responsibility for his child's well-being. The case became a sobering example of how intense emotional stress, fear, and unresolved conflict can lead individuals down unthinkable paths. The reaction in the courtroom opened up broader discussions about emotional health in legal settings. Viewers around the world debated whether such reactions come from remorse, regret, or simply shock. Mental health professionals urged the public to view these moments with empathy. As we examine cases like Diana Lovejoy's, we're reminded that beneath the legal arguments, courtrooms hold real people, real emotions, and long-lasting consequences. The collapse wasn't just physical. It symbolized the emotional weight of everything that had come before. What are your thoughts on this case? Do you believe the courtroom reaction was genuine? Should more support be given to those undergoing high-stress trials? Share your thoughts in the comments. Our final case is perhaps the most baffling of them all. Not just because of what happened, but because of how it was explained. Sarah Boone and her partner were known to have a rocky relationship, but when police arrived at the scene, what they discovered was something straight out of a nightmare. According to Sarah, it was supposed to be a joke, a harmless game, but the evidence told a very different story. In a case filled with contradictions, confusion, and courtroom twists, one question remained. Was it truly an accident, or something else entirely? This is the case of Sarah Boone, the plot hidden behind a smile. A Florida woman, Sarah Boone, was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole after being found guilty in connection with the 2020 passing of her boyfriend, Jorge Torres Jr., whom she left zipped inside a suitcase overnight. The incident occurred on February 23, 2020, at the couple's home in Winter Park, Florida. According to investigators, Boone and Torres had been drinking heavily that night when Boone suggested they play a game of hide-and-seek. At some point, Torres ended up inside a blue suitcase, and Boone zipped it closed.
You're despicable.
How am I despicable? I'm not even doing anything.
Leave me alone.
Okay.
You're not gonna remember shit. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm not doing nothing right now.
Get away from me. Get away from me.
I'm not doing nothing to you.
You do everything to me all the time. All the time. Heartache and pain is what you cause me. Heartache and pain.
How's that?
Keep going. I don't love you. I don't like you. I don't want to be with you.
For everything you've done to me.
Sarah.
For everything you've done to me.
Sarah.
Fuck you.
Sarah.
Fuck you.
Sarah.
Stupid.
Sarah.
That's my name. Don't wear it up.
Sarah. I can't fucking breathe, babe. Seriously.
Yeah, that's when you do when you choke me.
Sarah.
Boone initially told authorities that she believed Torres would be able to get out on his own and claimed she passed out after going upstairs to sleep. When she woke up the next morning and found him unresponsive in the suitcase, she called 911.
I fell asleep, forgetting that he was in the suitcase.
So you guys were playing the hide and go?
Yes.
And at some point you put him in the suitcase?
No, he got in the suitcase. So he thought it would be funny to be put in the suitcase. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to joke with you and I'll zip you up and make him, squirm a little bit, whatever it is. But then I fell asleep. I fell asleep.
Where was the suitcase?
Right where it is.
Right down there?
Yes.
You zipped him in there?
Yes.
Thought he would be funny, a little joke?
It was. We both were laughing about it. And then I fell asleep.
Where did you fall asleep at?
Upstairs.
In your bedroom?
Yes.
Okay.
Totally forgetting that he was in the suitcase still.
Okay. And then you came back downstairs?
This morning, or this afternoon, yes, when I got up.
What time?
12:30-ish. I was awake, but I totally forgot that he was in the suitcase.
First responders arrived and confirmed that Torres had passed away. During the investigation, detectives found 2 disturbing videos on Boone's phone that contradicted her initial statements. The videos showed Torres calling out for help while trapped inside the suitcase, repeatedly saying that he couldn't breathe. In the footage, Boone is heard laughing and telling him, "That's what I feel like when you cheat on me. This is on you."
Sarah, I can't breathe, babe.
That's on you.
Sarah, I can't breathe.
It's on you.
Sarah.
The video also captures Boone mocking Torres as he begged for air, with no visible attempt to help him escape the suitcase.
Yeah. You should probably shut the fuck up.
Sarah.
Prosecutors said this demonstrated deliberate disregard, not an accident. An official medical report later confirmed that Torres passed away due to lack of oxygen, with additional physical findings including bruises, surface injuries, and impact-related signs. There were also indications of head and neck pressure, raising further questions about what may have occurred before and during the incident.
Investigators say the video showed the suitcase facing downward. However, a second video shows the suitcase in a different position, suggesting it had been moved.
Sarah.
Also in the video, you can't see any holes. There's nowhere in that where the zipper separates and you can see a hole. If there's a hole, he's pushing on it, begging you to get out. We should probably see that hole.
He essentially would have been able to get out.
Huh.
Alcohol. Based off what you're telling us, he should have been able to get out.
Okay.
But the video shows him attempting to get out, begging to get out, and he can't. So that's just what we're trying to figure out. I don't know if maybe you had too much to drink, you zipped it up all the way, and then,
I did not zip it up all the way.
Okay, well.
I did not zip it up all the way. This is horrific, okay? Horrific.
It is terrible.
Yeah,
horrific. I don't think I'll ever be right because of this. Ever be right. I didn't mean to leave him there. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You got up and walked away. How is that not intentionally leaving him there?
Because I'm looking at the hole, knowing that it's there. He'll get out no problem. Because you don't.
Then he doesn't. But you don't go check on him. You say you're up for 30 minutes and he doesn't come up. You don't go down and check on him?
I'm in the bed.
You even moved.
And off.
You admit to moving the suitcase over. So
you roll it.
You roll it over. It's not like
I didn't want him to be like that. Don't.
You didn't want him to be upside down. How do you even get upside down?
Right. You guys are killing me right now. I promise you, on my son's life, it was not intentional. I promise you. on Lucas's life. It was not intentional.
I don't know you. I can't say I know anything about you. I don't know what would be a true statement, what would not. I mean, you're promising on your son's life, that's fine.
That's how much it means.
Sorry.
That's how much it, look, that's how much it means.
Okay.
I hope you take that to heart.
Boone was taken into custody and charged accordingly. During her pre-trial phase, she changed legal representation multiple times, reportedly going through at least 8 different attorneys. She also rejected a 15-year plea deal offered by prosecutors, maintaining that she was not responsible for the outcome.
Judge, the letters that have been coming to Your Honor, the derogatory berating of my services in this case, I can't effectively represent her. She doesn't trust me. She calls me a dud, I think, a buffoon, on and on and on and on. And no one should have to endure that type of derogatory comments and expect to effectively represent someone.
Boone claimed that she had been in a difficult and unhealthy relationship with Torres and insisted that she never intended to cause harm. Her legal team argued that she had experienced fear and emotional pressure throughout their time together. However, the prosecution focused on Boone's choices during and after the incident, especially the videos, which showed a clear lack of concern for Torres's well-being. They argued that Boone consciously left him inside the suitcase and chose not to call for help until the following day. One of the most pivotal and tense moments in Sarah Boone's trial came when prosecutors asked her to demonstrate how Jorge Torres ended up inside the suitcase. She was surprised, but complied. Inside the courtroom, Boone was given a replica of the suitcase, similar in size and shape to the one used the night of the incident. Under direct questioning, she was asked to show how Torres got in and whether it would have been physically possible for him to zip himself inside without help. Boone explained that the suitcase was large enough for Torres to enter on his own and that he climbed in voluntarily during a drunken, playful moment. However, prosecutors questioned this explanation, citing the position in which Torres was found, folded in a way that indicated restricted space and movement, likely making it impossible for him to get out on his own.
Ms. Boone, can you demonstrate for the jury where Mr. Torres' head was and how his body was positioned in the suitcase, if you don't mind?
His back was this way and his head was here.
All right, and then is it fair to say his feet are kind of down here, which would be the front left corner from their perspective in the jury box?
Yes.
And then his knees are kind of tucked up towards his face?
If I remember correctly, yes, that's the position.
Okay. All right. Can you help me understand how it was that your zip did shut? Can you show us where you say you left an opening that his hand got out of?
Would it be easier to put it on here?
I didn't want to make you go down there. If you're happy doing that, I'll let you.
Hold up. Does she need to be wearing gloves?
Yes.
Agreed. If she's going to be manipulating it.
What do you want her to do? Just demonstrate how she zipped it shut.
This was up here. This was not this hard either. This was like here.
Okay. About right there, ma'am?
Sure.
I assume this one was much closer. It's not over there? Where did you
You asked me where I zipped it.
When you say that it was zipped shut, show us.
Are you talking about how I zipped it or?
When you're done zipping
With
it
the
shut
hole.
and he's inside of it, where are the zipper components?
Just tell me what it's at.
I mean, it was the corner. I mean, the corner was kind of open.
not. Yes, this one was on the bench. From what I can remember. That's how he was coming with his hand out. It was like this from the corner.
Okay.
As Boone demonstrated how she zipped the suitcase, courtroom observers noted her calm and composed demeanor, which some described as indifferent. Prosecutors used this moment to reinforce the idea that sealing someone completely inside a suitcase, with no access to air or help, was not something that could simply be brushed off as unintentional.
All right, and so it ends in hide and seek after arts and puzzles, correct? He says, tag, you're it, but you run and go upstairs and hide, right?
Yes.
So does that mean he's it and he's supposed to come find you?
No.
Okay. So you both hide?
No.
Okay. How does this work?
I don't know how to tell you.
Okay.
I was it, and I went and hid.
I mean, my understanding of the rules of hide and seek is one person will be it, cover his or her eyes and count to like 20 and then go find the person that's hiding. Is that your familiarity with the rules too, or do you guys have house rules?
I understand how the
Okay.
game of hide and seek
So
works.
explain to me, what was your expectation? You go up to the shower, were you expecting him to come find you?
I was.
Okay. And after a while, he did not come find you?
Yes.
And that's when you return downstairs?
Correct.
And because of the way your townhouse is set up, you can kind of see over where the suitcase is and that he's trying to hide in there, but it's not successfully hidden just yet.
I mean, yes, you have to come down a good ways in order to be able to
Right.
do that.
Right. But you saw, you testified those before you got to the bottom.
Yes.
All right. And then you come over there and thinking that it's funny, you zip him shut, correct?
Yes, we both thought it was funny.
Okay. So once he was zipped into there, there's some amount of time, but you don't remember specifically before you start taking the 2-minute video, correct?
Yes.
And then you take the second video and you go upstairs and go to bed, correct?
I apparently went upstairs and I used the phone to make a phone call.
Okay.
And then I fell asleep.
All right. And at the point in time when you left and went upstairs, he was still inside the suitcase, correct?
Correct.
Was he still asking for you and calling your name?
That I can recall.
Did you say shh to him again?
I don't remember.
Did you tell him that this was his problem and it's on you again?
Don't remember.
Did you do anything to help him escape from the predicament that you zipped him up in?
No.
No other questions?
Medical experts later testified that the condition in which Torres was found, along with the physical markings, made Boone's version of events hard to believe. The demonstration became a key moment in the trial, showing not only the sequence of events, but also the conscious decisions Boone made throughout the night. On October 25, 2024, a jury found Sarah Boone responsible for Torres's death after less than 90 minutes of deliberation.
Members of our jury, good evening. I understand that you've come to a verdict in this case.
Yes.
If you could please hand the verdict form to the deputy, please. Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, if you could please publish the verdict.
In the Circuit Court of the 9th Judicial Circuit in Orange County, Florida, case number 2020 CF 2603, the state of Florida versus Sarah Boone. Verdict. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of murder in the second degree as charged in the information. So say we all, dated at Orlando, Orange County, Florida, on this 25th day of October 2024. The form has been signed by the foreperson.
Madam Clerk, please poll our jury.
Juror in seat number 1, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, it is.
Juror in seat number 2, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, it is.
Juror in seat number 3, is this your true
Yes,
and
it
correct
is.
verdict? Juror in seat number 4, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror in seat number 5, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror in seat number 6, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
On December 2, 2024, she was formally sentenced to life in prison without parole by Circuit Judge Michael Kranick. During sentencing, members of Torres's family gave heartfelt impact statements, describing the emotional toll of losing him. His mother shared that she still looks out the window sometimes, hoping to see him walk through the door. Judge Cranick stated that the nature of the incident, Boone's lack of response, and the behavior shown in the video warranted the maximum sentence.
Court pronounces sentence as follows. Ms. Boone, court sentences you to life in the Department of Corrections, with credit time served that Madam Clerk will provide to you momentarily. There are also court costs and costs of prosecution, which Madam Clerk will give you the totals of momentarily. Due to the court levying a life sentence, the court is inclined to liquidate those to a civil judgment unless I hear opposition from the state.
The case received national attention due to the unusual nature of the situation and the disturbing video evidence. While Boone claimed it was all a terrible mistake or the result of alcohol and poor judgment, the court ultimately ruled otherwise. In the end, the case is a reminder of how quickly things can escalate in a volatile relationship, especially when substances, poor decision-making, and emotional conflict are involved. Sarah Boone is now serving a life sentence, while the family of Jorge Torres Jr. continues to grieve a loss that changed their lives forever. Do you believe this was a harmless mistake, or did she intentionally leave him in there? 5 different people, 5 different stories, but one thing connects them all: the absence of empathy. These weren't just poor decisions or acts of desperation. They were calculated, deliberate, and cold. And in every case, the people responsible seemed to think they had it all figured out until they were standing in front of a judge. In some courtrooms, justice came quickly. In others, it dragged on while families searched for peace they might never find. What drives a person to go this far? And how do we stop the next one before it happens? The answers aren't simple, but remembering these stories is a start. If this video gripped you, support the channel by watching the next video on your screen. Thanks for watching.